Commander Sarish Minna of Deep Space Nine has requested your assistance with a delicate matter involving Cardassia and Bajor.
After the devastation of the Dominion War, the Cardassians chose a path that would lead their planet to prosperity and democracy. Not everyone agreed with this choice. A secret organization dedicated to the return of the Cardassian Union and the Obsidian Order plagues Federation and Cardassian forces, seeking to overturn newfound freedoms in favor of oppression and aggression. In the end, the fight to save Deep Space Nine may be the battle that decides the fate of the Quadrant.
How can I help you? Welcome to Deep Space Nine, and thank you for coming so quickly. During the occupation of Bajor, many sacred artifacts were stolen and studied. After the Bajoran-Cardassian Treaty was signed in 2371, these artifacts were supposed to be returned. These orbs are precious to our people. How can I help you?
Congratulations, Captain.
My name is Sarish Minna. I hold the rank of Commander in Starfleet. I am the Operations Officer for Deep Space Nine. How can I help you? The True Way has stolen an orb the Obsidian Order failed to return after the war. Although we don't know for certain where they have taken it, we have been getting dozens of reports of raiders hitting civilian ships near the Badlands.
The desperate men and women of the True Way have turned to one of the Federation's greatest foes in an attempt to hold sway over Cardassia Prime. Starfleet must infiltrate into the heart of the New Dominion and douse the flames of war before they consume the entire quadrant.
To any ships in the vicinity, I am under attack by a group of Cardassian ships identifying themselves as the True Way. Please, render assistance immediately. I was just hauling my cargo through the Badlands, and I passed some strange anomaly. My freighter is obviously no match for them.
You have fallen into our trap, and now you will never locate our base.
Sarish here. Acknowledged. I will be along in the Defiant shortly.
Hostile parties have entered the base. All forces move to high alert. Never have it.
Greetings. I am Gul Kardec. This orb is the property of the Cardassian government. The true Cardassian government. The true way. And you can't have it. Guards!
Fools, you will never defeat me.
receive a message from you.
We are approaching the Badlands. What is your status? I will be along in the Defiant momentarily. And may the prophets smile upon you. Looks like I arrived just in time. Those look like mirror universe ships. Congratulations on your recovery of the orb from Gul Kardec. We request that you return the orb to the temple in Hathon on Bajor. I'm afraid that we have not seen the last of Gul Kardec. But for now, the people of Bajor will be elated at the return of an orb we thought lost forever. Good work. How can I help you?
Congratulations, Captain.
Pursued by True Way forces. You must return the orb to the temple in Hathon. I have notified Vedic Kryn. She is waiting for you in the temple.
I am Gulmutak of the Kriegar, Adjutant General to Gul Kardec. You are carrying stolen property belonging to the True Way. Lower your shields and prepare to be boarded.
Sarish here. In the orbit of Bajor? But how could they? Nerve of the... Good. You're still in one piece. Let's teach these Cardis a lesson. That's the last of them for now.
How may I help you? Wonderful. The Prophet has smiled upon us this day. Well, please, place the orb upon the altar.
The service rendered is not the service desired. What does not belong cannot be returned.
What has been returned does not belong. We must travel backward.
When we gaze in the mirror, we see our faces as others do, but reversed.
Your task abides. You have recovered an orb. Now you must return it.
As you must return.
I would be honored to know what the Prophet shared with you, if you are willing. Elsewhere? But it is an orb of the Prophets. Where else could it belong?
Sarah's here. Acknowledged. Be careful. The mirror universe is known to be more treacherous than our universe. Sarah's here. What is your status? Acknowledged. Keep comm lines open as long as possible. We have limited intelligence on the mirror universe, but from what we know, it appears the Terran rebellion spread from Terok Nor, eventually forming a new empire. The Terran Empire has reoccupied Bajor. I believe this Captain Lita is the administrator of the Bajor sector.
I am Gul Haneri of the Torn, Chief Tactical Advisor to Gul Kardec of the True Way. You are not welcome here. Lower your shields and prepare to be boarded.
I believe Gul Kardec must take the universe to somehow create a pattern. Then, form the line of the Terran God.
Greetings. I am Captain Lita of the Terran Empire. What a pity.
Gul Kardec was right. You are formidable, but pitifully predictable.
Terran forces, attack the invaders! I want them alive. Guards! Guards!
We will meet again. Soon.
Greetings. Do you seek the wisdom of the prophets? Vedic Kryn is in the temple office.
You! You have interfered with my plans for the last time!
Stop! Fighting is not permitted here.
This is not your affair.
Thank you. I feel much better. The Orb of Possibilities? But that was lost decades ago, during the first occupation of Bajor.
Gul Kardec to Gul Palat. I have run into some complications. Namely, some agents have interfered with my plans.
We are most grateful. We had thought the orb lost forever. You have restored the balance.
Your enemies lie in wait. They want to prevent your return.
But we shall restore the balance as you did.
You have returned our orb.
Now you must return.
Greetings. I did not see you enter the temple. Indeed, I know little of the Mirror Prophets. Then you have the gratitude of 2 Bajors.
So, Gul Kardec was a changeling. This does not bode well. An alliance between the True Way and the Alpha Dominion could prove disastrous for the Alpha and Beta Quadrants. However, the orb has been returned to the Mirror Universe, and you have returned to ours. Nevertheless, we must stop this alliance before they can do any further damage. We shall analyze the pad you retrieved to see if we find this Ketracel White factory. How can I help you?
Congratulations, Captain.
The pad you discovered on Gul Kardec revealed the location of a secret facility in the Alpha Quadrant. There appears to be some kind of alliance between the True Way and the Dominion. We cannot allow them to join forces. How can I help you?
Greetings. I am very glad to meet you. Oh my, yes. I have a proposition to which I hope you shall be amenable. Las was the first of these Alpha Quadrant founders to emerge. He located and gathered the others into a new Great Link. Betrayal is such an ugly word. I prefer to think of our arrangement as a creative solution to a difficult problem. Several reasons. First, even if I do not agree with him, he is a god. Betrayal is such... My job is to supervise the Ketracel White production. Las keeps me away from the new link. Oh, I do not like the word catch. It sounds so mercenary. I'll be glad to get out of here. These Alpha Jem'Hadar don't understand the proper respect owed to a Vortar.
Intruders! I'll put up a force field. You dump the data!
Excellent. I shall retrieve the coordinates. I have the data. It will take some time to decrypt.
Scanning in progress.
A waste. That factory might have come in handy someday. I have completed the decryption of the data we recovered. The new link appears to lie in the Orias system.
Congratulations on destroying the facility. That should cripple the Alpha Jem'Hadar for the time being. But we need to make contact with this new link. Hopefully Naaman can convince them of the truth before it's too late. Keep a close eye on him. We may have a treaty with the Dominion, but that doesn't mean I trust them. Aborta's first loyalty will always be to the Founders. How can I help you?
Congratulations, Captain.
Naaman has decrypted the coordinates for the new link. They designate a location in the Alpha Quadrant, in the Orias system. This changeling named Lass has deceived the other changelings in his link into thinking we are exterminating them, and that we massacred the Gamma Quadrant changelings as well. You must have Naaman help you convince them of the truth.
Betrayal wears a familiar face, as infiltrators from other dimensions attempt to establish a foothold in the Bajor sector. Will the wormhole lead to the other side of the mirror? Only the prophets know what can restore the walls between worlds.
The Jem'Hadar will not likely be interested in negotiation. I'm afraid you'll have to... that you can always breed more. You have to admire the devotion of the Jem'Hadar. They never seem to tire of throwing their lives away for the Founders. There it is. It's even more beautiful than I imagined. To think my gods slumber below, dreaming in their link. It's almost sacrilegious to have you here. I hope the Founders will understand the necessity and forgive me. The other Vorta are going to be so envious when they hear about this.
Have you come to finish the job of exterminating us, Solid? Impossible. We have linked with Laws. It is true that he awoke before us.
It's true, Great One. These people are not hunting you. The Great Link remains. The Dominion has a treaty with the Alpha Quadrant species.
This creature lies. You have joined with me. You know all.
Then you should have no qualms
that I know.
about linking.
No. These solids have poisoned your minds. I will not be forced to link by them.
Although it is unfortunate we had to resort to violence to force loss into his liquid form, we are grateful for your assistance.
Well, it has been a pleasure knowing you. I will remain here and serve the passengers.
Although you have slain our brothers, we have orders to allow you to leave the system. But you are never to return. And let it be known among your peoples that this system belongs to us, and you are not welcome.
Congratulations! You have defeated the True Way and made peace with the Alpha Changelings. I have transmitted messages to the major powers of the galaxy, advising them to avoid the Araya system.
Congratulations, Admiral.